All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Gianni Kovacevic. He is a director with LithiumBank. And Gianni, it's good to have you back again. How are you?
I'm very good, Steve. I'm following the markets. We are in summer, and people understand the sentiment. What's the sentiment on the street? Well, people that watch this program follow resources and junior mining shares, and those shares are typically held on the Toronto Stock Exchange Venture Exchange. Look at the volumes, the velocity of money. Sentiment is very low. Meanwhile, the world moves on, news moves on, milestones are met. We're marching down the field. We got a lot of work happening at the project level and at the news delivery level. And also I think it's really interesting what's going on at a macro level in Alberta and in lithium. And the big money is very interested and they're moving forward. So it kind of goes against that narrative of the negative sentiment that we're seeing.
Yeah, so there's been some news happening within Alberta. Before we get to that, just remind everyone a little bit about LithiumBank's project in Alberta.
LithiumBank put out an inferred resource last year, which establishes it as one of the largest contained inferred resources in the lithium space in the world. So it's just a whisker short of 6 million tons. And on the back of that resource, we engaged Hatch Engineering to come up with the first economic model or preliminary economic assessment for the project. And within that, direct lithium extraction, because this is a reservoir in Alberta with briny water. That'll be, many companies are now moving projects like that forward. And we're choosing the actual technologies of the direct lithium extraction. And that economic model should be ready here during the summer of 2022. So we're getting a lot of the parameters there. And then the question is, as you fine tune this, working with Hatch Engineering, which is one of the premier engineering firms in Canada, in the world, in fact. So we hired a blue ribbon type of independent group to complete that for us. That is going to deliver a lot of important information, because this will, once again, from an economic model or from a net present value NPV metric, we believe it's going to establish our flagship Boardwalk project as one of the largest and most interesting development lithium projects, not just in Canada, not just in North America, but in the world. So we follow very carefully, very closely what's going on with the peer group and other companies that are going down the development arc with lithium projects. So that, in a nutshell, LithiumBank controls crown leases in excess of 3 million acres. So it is a very large portfolio, multi-project, Saskatchewan, Alberta focus. But for now, our most advanced project is what we call Boardwalk.
Yeah, so that really leads into some news that came out late last week that E3 Lithium, which is in Alberta as well, signing a partnership with Imperial Oil. And this is significant on a number of fronts. It really is the first time you've seen sort of an oil company transition more towards this particular type of project. Can you talk a bit about the significance of this partnership?
Well, that was a global headline in energy, and it was something also press released by Imperial Oil. So what they're, and I'm just speculating here, this is my own personal opinion, they're backing future technologies. They are an energy extractive industry. They're going to support the, energy in many different categories, and they're supporting the Alberta economy. This is something they're very complementary. The workforce, the consultants, the engineers, and the end product is something that not only Canada, but the world needs. They're championing that, and they're putting up real money. They're becoming partners with E3. And for people that watch this program, their stock doubled in 3 days. So there is interest there when activity like that comes into the space. But from a LithiumBank perspective, we look at that as very interesting, because our project has our inferred resource is almost 3 times larger than the resource of their Clearwater project, which is, I believe, 2.2 million tons. Grades are similar. The chemistries, all those different categories are very similar. So that gives you a little bit more reinforcement, I think, that when our PEA is complete in the next, 60 days, 45 days, something like that, it gives the industry, it gives investors, and it gives all the other companies that have looked at these type of partnerships. We have also Koch Industries out of Kansas. They invested in a project, a brine project down in Arkansas. And you've seen Shell, Royal Dutch Shell, and other companies that have taken a keen interest to this. We have no partners at this point, LithiumBank, other than the actual tenement, which is one singular company has the oil and gas leases of where our Boardwalk project is located. So it's very exciting. I think it was very positive within the negative sentiment that you see in the overall markets, but to see such an investor response to that news. So it's an endorsement, it's a reinforcement, and it's also a validation. So their market cap is almost doubled in 3 or 4 trading days. So oddly enough, it hasn't had any correlation to LithiumBank. So we'll just continue to build the business case. And I think as we believe that the investment community is going to take a greater look at our PA as it comes out here, as I've already articulated, in the next sort of 60 days or so.
Absolutely. Well, lots of eyes on Alberta and specifically lithium as well. So, Gianni, thank you so much. Great to catch up with you, and we'll keep monitoring the situation. So thank you.
Thank you, and have a very happy Canada Day coming up here.
Yeah, thank you very much. Gianni Kovacevic, he's a director with LithiumBank.